Hey, what's going on, Faithful? Welcome back to the Gilded Gang podcast. Well, it looks like we got another guy that's going to be hitched at some point, and that is our guy, Brock Purdy, who just got engaged. So, hey, congratulations, kid. Really happy for you and your new bride to be. So, that's going to be really exciting. Big changes coming for Brock and his family, as well as his fiance's family. So, really exciting stuff. But other than that, I also want to talk a little bit about what we can see or potentially see in preseason. So I just wanted to say we are 40 days away. That's right. We are William Floyd days away, bar none, from preseason games on August 13th. So this thing is coming really fast and it's always coming furiously. So you can see that we've got a lot going on and it's in a short amount of time. And so I just wanted to get into just a few names of guys to watch out for preseason and just to keep an eye on. We're obviously hearing some reports and of how good Trey's looking. He's never looked better. He feels great. So that's going to be exciting to see him go out there and feeling healthy, feeling good. Because again, as we know, regardless of where you stand on where the quarterback situation is and who you think should start or not start, health, etc., it's always great to see our guys come in healthy and ready to go and ready to perform. And so, other than Trey, I do want to talk about just a few names that I think are going to really be guys to watch during this preseason. And so, with that, I just want to kick it off on that list. My first guy that I'm really excited and interested to see this preseason. So, not Trey, not Brock Purdy, I'm actually really interested to see, obviously, this guy, Jair Brown. Really excited. He's done amazing in camp. And, again, I mentioned him probably a couple of weeks back. I did a whole episode on him and talking about how I think he can project to being a starter. He may not start that way, and then maybe he'll start out as a in the slot or some other spot, maybe outside corner. He still has a shot there. I don't know if he's going to split time with Demo because Demo did a really nice job last season, and I'm totally forgetting, and that's on me that we already signed the gentleman out of from the Falcons as well. So he's probably going to be the other outside corner along with Charvarius Ward. So I don't think that he'll be able to supplant him. So I don't think that Jair Brown will be able to take that guy's spot or take the spot of Demo Lenore. So Gibson, I want to say it's also Gibson. So we got Gibson and we got Gibson. So you know, I don't see that. But again, playing in that nickel, playing in some dime packages, just obviously being just an absolute demon on special teams. So it'll be really interesting to see how the 49ers find a way to get this kid on the field because he is just doing a lot of great work and has been doing since OTAs. And so he's just a really exciting guy. So Jair Brown is someone who I'm just looking to see not only just the raw athleticism and the physicality that he brings, because that we've seen on tape out of Penn State. But I want to see how he tracks the ball. I want to see his closing speed because much like Talanoa Hufanga, this guy's the knock on this guy. Why he didn't go higher is because of that high end speed. He didn't have that elite speed that scouts were looking for. So I'm going to be looking for, does he have game speed? Can he close on the ball? Can he do things that make up for that quote unquote shortcoming, right? Can he figure out a way to get into the right spot the way that Hufanga has? And it just kind of made the whole speed thing almost a moot point. And obviously, Talanoa is going to continue to grow. And he started off so hot at the beginning of last season and then had to kind of slow down and just try to find his way there in the second portion of the season. But I'm one of the, I don't want to say few fans, but I'm one of the fans who thinks, that stuff is natural. I don't put that to mean anything more than just teams will make adjustments, right? Teams will find what your weakness is and what your weaknesses are. But the one thing I will say is Talanoa continued to play with discipline. He continued to understand the scheme and play to that scheme. And him and Gibson, let's be honest, on the back end, neither one of them have elite speed, and yet it was still really tough for teams to get over the top of us. Obviously, a lot of that had to do with big number 97, Nick Bosa. and that pass rush. But I think, and obviously our linebacking core as well with Fred Warner. But I also think I give a lot of credit to those guys for having the discipline to make sure that they stay on their assignment. So I'm not, just sometimes you don't see the interceptions, you don't see all the big numbers, forced fumbles, and all the statistics that go along with playing free safety or strong safety. But I'm not going to also sit here and say, oh, well, that second half of the season for Talanoa was more telling than the first half, because I think you're going to find that he will continue to grow, and that I really expect that in this season. Obviously, the pass rush being much improved with Javon Hargrave, that will help, as well as maybe some other rotational pieces. But for me, that's pretty good. And so if that's pretty solidified already, what can Jair Brown do on special teams when he maybe comes in on 4 receiver packages or whatever that might look like, maybe playing a slot receiver in a nickel package or what have you, because he will get some opportunities. He won't get the bulk of the snaps, but he'll get some snaps. And so when he does, it's about what can he do. And again, remember, he's battling with Samuel Womack in preseason for those snaps as well. So he's my first guy to watch. So that's one guy right there, Jair Brown. My second guy to keep an eye on is a guy that, again, I've talked about as well earlier on the channel, and that is Jack Coletto, who, by the way, wears number 49. So there you go. That's a good omen right there. A fullback, really interesting guy, though, because he's a fullback, but he's kind of that hybrid, and it makes a lot of sense that we drafted this guy. Excuse me, that we picked him up. He was undrafted out of Oregon State. This guy reminds you so much of Kyle Juszczyk when you watch him on tape. And I know that Kyle's going to take him under his wing and probably has already started that process because just the similarities are there. This guy seems like he's just going to be a workhorse. He's going to be a sponge. And I'm just really interested to see how they use him in preseason because, as we know, Kyle does like to let it fly a little bit in preseason. There's going to be some creativity. He's going to trust the backups to still run the offense in a creative way and maybe a more free flowing way than he usually would. And have a lot of multiplicity in his play calling. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do with Big Jack Coletto, who has a shot to make this team. Again, can you contribute on special teams? Can you be a guy that plays with physicality but knows your assignment, has versatility? And he can. I think he's the kind of guy who you can obviously line him up at fullback in goal line situations, but he can just obviously get out on those wheel routes and catch a ball too. So he's kind of, I think I compared him in the past to maybe a Taysom Hill in that way, where if you need him now, I don't know if he can pass the ball, but like Taysom can because he was a quarterback at BYU. But the one thing that I do see is, again, that versatility between being a fullback and then running routes and being a pass catcher as a tight end. So as an undersized tight end, let's say, but still very much a viable option. So he's going to be a guy to watch. Very, very interesting guy. I thought it was a really nice pickup as an undrafted guy. Could have been drafted there in the 6th or 7th round. But as we know, the fullback position has pretty much gone extinct other than here at Santa Clara and obviously San Francisco 49ers. So with our team, hey, you want to play fullback? We got the Pro Bowler to teach you, and that is Kyle Juszczyk. So I'm really interested to see that. Again, we know that Kyle is a really open guy with the young guys, and he really enjoys that part of the game as well. So really interested to see what we get to see from Jack Coletto. So that's my second guy that I'd like to see in preseason. And then my third guy, and I might even throw in a bonus guy, but my third guy right now from this draft class or undrafted class is Joey Fisher. So Joey Fisher is that big old lineman out of Shepherd. He's already 25 years old, so he is coming in fairly late, much older, but this guy is huge. This guy is a mauler. He projects better, I think, as a right tackle than he does as that swing left tackle. But still, the guy, a guy that has the skill set to be able to just absolutely get nasty and just pancake dudes continuously. You turn on that tape, and that's what this guy did. To me, regardless of the level, if you are doing that time and time and time again, this is a guy who really plays around with that play to the whistle situation. He keeps pushing to the line and sometimes after the line. But you know what? As an O lineman, as long as you are keeping your pad level where it should be and you're getting into a guy's chest continuously, hey, that's part of the game, right? You got to get in there. You got to get physical. That is what the game is. And these days, it is rare to see a guy that has that kind of motor as a tackle and even inside, playing inside in the interior of the whole line. But I still think he looks more like a tackle. So we'll see if over time he'll be able to project as potentially a backup left tackle. But he's a guy to watch. He should be in there with that second, third, fourth unit. Definitely the third and fourth unit. So watch out for him, Joey Fisher, big Joey Fisher. I want to say he's going to wear number 66 or 67. So keep an eye on him. He's the third guy. And my bonus guy, who was a guy a lot of people like, this guy, as they say in during the draft time, right? He had a lot of love in the streets. This guy is really interesting, and he's an interior defensive lineman. His name is Kalia Davis. We got him last season. I want to say he came in. We drafted him late. I want to say fifth round, sixth round, somewhere along those lines. I'm gonna do a little shout out. Maybe my guy Marvin 49 knows exactly when he was drafted because he puts out the best draft recaps around. So if you haven't checked him out, check out that channel right there. But a lot of diehards probably already know about that. But yeah, either fifth through the sixth round, something like that. But Kalia Davis, I know he put on a little bit of weight, good weight, because he was undersized. He came in probably around 285, 290. And right now I looked at the depth chart and he's probably around 310 is what they're listing him right now. So I think 6'2, 310 projects a lot better in that DJ Jones type of role. So I think that's what the 49ers see him as, right? Chris Kusarik, who's the 49ers defensive line coach, obviously, this guy will coach up Kalia Davis. I think last year what happened was Kalia was just hurt. Injuries, sometimes guys have nagging injuries, and it pretty much wiped out his entire first season with the 49ers. So, but he's a guy that's got a really good shot to make the team. And I like his skill set a lot. I like what he did at UCF. He's a guy that, like I said, a lot like DJ Jones, I think he's stout in the run game, but he projects as someone who he's quick enough. He has the foot speed, he has the technique to get under the guy's pads and be able to shift some guys back in the pass game, right? So I don't think he's just a run stopper. And I think that's really what I'm looking to see. Again, it's preseason. We know that. We know that all this is exhibition time, but this is still an opportunity for these guys to make the team. So these guys aren't going to be playing like it doesn't mean anything. So I want to see that second level of burst from Kalia Davis. And I think he's going to show it in preseason. He's going to be seeing a lot of twos and threes, maybe some fours when he comes in. But regardless, he is a guy who is really, really interesting. Again, we never really replaced DJ Jones, in my opinion, as this guy who is this kind of late rounder who just happens to be a gem, knows how to stop the run, and he can really contribute and push that pocket into the quarterback in the pass game. So those are my guys right there. Quick recap again. Obviously, like I said, this wasn't a bonus guy, but early on I mentioned Trey's obviously looking good. Excited to see him. But like I said, number one on my list, Jair Brown. They're going to have to find a place to put this kid because he's an incredible athlete, great vision. So that's number one, Jair Brown. Joey Fisher, or excuse me, Jack Coletto was the second guy that I mentioned, fullback, tight end hybrid. Number three, Joey Fisher, big right tackle out of Shepherd. And then my bonus guy is Kalia Davis, who was hurt last year, but should be ready to go, good to go, put on some good weight. And he's going to be moving people in preseason. And who knows, if he makes that roster, he's going to be moving people in the regular season too. So with that, just wanted to check in real quick, guys. Thank you so much. Please continue to like and subscribe to the channel. I hope to bring you a lot more content than I have been, and continue to put out some good stuff here on the Gilded Gang podcast. Take care. See you later, faithful.